Snow is on the ground in Towson, Maryland, and here in Loyola Blakefield as your Loyola Dons basketball take on the 8-5 McDonogh Eagles. I'm George Schaefer, joined courtside tonight by Patrick Lester. And Patrick, what are your thoughts on the matchup?
Yeah, George, both teams coming off tough losses, Loyola to Mount Carmel, McDonogh to St. Francis. This will be a big one to get back on track for both teams here on this Friday night.
Loyola, the hosts, are 2-3 in their home court. McDonogh coming in this game 5-4 away, and as you said, they did just lose their most recent game to St. Francis, who is the Baltimore powerhouse of both basketball and football. The starting five for the Dons tonight: Terry Brooks, Mason Ellison and Legree, Palmer and Io Olafantila will take the start. It's Terry Brooks, the freshman's first start of the season. For McDonogh, we're going to have B.J. Hopkins, Jefferson Exenor, Marcus Williams, Carlos Ferguson, and Maurice Costley.
Yeah, George, last Friday, two Dons, Ellison and Legree, had 30 points apiece. Curious to see if those two carry the load again tonight, if we see some of the Dons' depth come into play.
Absolutely. Mason Ellison with 30 and Legree with 31. They combined for 61 points, taking a huge part of that Dons' 79-point game. So it'll be Io Olafantila to take the tip for the Dons, going up against the sophomore Carlos Ferguson. And Ferguson will win the tip, and the Eagles will take over. Williams with the ball up top. McDonogh are going to try and keep it slow pace tonight as Ferguson takes it deep, and just too far as Brooks has the rebound. Slowing it down in transition now. Ellison drives downhill, and the Dons are on the board.
Ellison just great at finishing at the rim, showing off that talent early here tonight.
It'll be Williams again, the point guard. Kicks it out. And the crowd gets loud early now. It'll be Exenor underneath. Now Hopkins. Ferguson now drives, and we are level at 2 apiece.
Both teams without key pieces tonight. Dons missing senior Marlon Williams, while McDonogh's without their tallest player, senior Robert Fields. So
Fields has been a big part of this McDonogh offense, especially under the paint.
he has. He grabs a lot of rebounds for the Eagles.
As Legree has his first touch of the night, battling with Williams. Now it's Ellison working on Ferguson. Ellison with 5 to go, and this does not go. Exenor will push in transition. The dual sport athlete also plays football and is committed to Penn State. As B.J. Hopkins airballed this one, and it's going to be out of bounds on the Dons, so McDonogh will take over underneath.
As you said, Brooks, Exenor, an all-conference wide receiver for McDonogh. The Dons have their own all-conference cornerback in Jesse Legree, just a junior.
Legree now with the ball, and he's being pressed early by Williams. Now it's Legree in the corner. And this one comes off the foot of Ellison, and Hopkins will take over. Exenor from deep, and this one is off the backboard and in. McDonogh lead 5-2.
McDonogh guarding Legree really closely here. Guessing they watched the film from last Friday's game where he knocked down 6 or 7 threes for the Dons. He was on fire.
It was Legree's best game by far of the season as Ellison likes his chances, and this one goes. And it's a quick start for both of these teams. Hopkins trying to slow it down. McDonogh are going to take their time up top. Meanwhile, Loyola are going to really try and get the ball moving. Take advantage of that loss of Fields. As Hopkins working on Ellison, gets inside and floats one up, it does not go. Hopkins gets it back from Carter, and now it's Exenor under the rim, and he's got it.
Yeah, it was good defense there from Io Olafintilla, but Dons couldn't hold on. Eagles capitalized off the mistake.
And now it was Brooks working on Hopkins. He takes one from the corner, and it's short.
Yeah, Brooks had a great game last Friday night. Knocked down a couple threes for the Dons in that big win against Calvert Hall.
Hopkins working on Brooks, the freshman. Now it's Williams wide open, and this one does not go, and a whistle's blown. It'll go the Dons' way.
Yeah, it looks like Ferguson just went over the back of Olafintilla there, and the Dons student section let him hear it. Whiteout theme tonight.
So it'll start with Palmer and Legree underneath. Palmer working on Williams. Sorry, it's Legree. Legree's three is short and over the backboard, no good. Williams drives, and this one goes. It's 9-5, Eagles.
That was good defense there from Olafintilla, but just great touch there on the glass.
Legree will try to respond. He's getting pressed high by Williams. They're not letting him have an inch of space. As Brooks comes in, he's fouled on the way down. And he should be going to the line for two.
Brooks hasn't missed a free throw yet this year, knock on wood, but one of the
I believe he's about 4 for 4.
one of the more reliable from the line for the Dons.
And we'll see if his perfect free throw percentage can continue.
Announcer jinx there.
So Brooks misses his first, and he will come to the line to see if he can cut this game to a 3-point lead for the Eagles. This one will go as the Dons prepare their first subs of the night. Nottingham will be coming in, the senior committed to Georgia for baseball. And on the other hand, it'll be Mikey Williams, the freshman.
So 2 freshmen in here early for the Dons. Coach Cersei's got to love the young talent he has on his squad.
Now it's Williams. Brooks giving Williams a lot more space than they've given Legree so far. It'll be Hopkins underneath, marked closely by Williams. Marcus Williams drives, takes a knock from Legree, but this one goes. 11-6 is your score.
Hard fall there. I thought they might have called the foul, but the ref holds off on the whistle and he knocks down the.
Legree fakes a man, kicks it outside to Nottingham, who can't hang on, and Exenor will steal. Hopkins pushing in transition. Williams is pushed back, and Exenor will lay this in. It was Anthony Redfern, the sub for McDonogh, who checks in, alongside Sonny Moore, the freshman.
Exenor showing off his athleticism early here in this one.
Legree looks for the foul, but it's going to be instead out of bounds on McDonogh.
Yeah, Dons get away with one there. McDonogh knocks it out. They'll have an inbound here.
Kicked outside to Brooks. It's Ellison up top. Deep three. Does not go. It was right outside the arc. It was right in the face of the defender. As Moore opens up his scoring with 2, and now it's 15-6. McDonogh, they lead by 9 with 2:30 to go in the opening quarter.
Yeah, Loyola struggled here early with their rebounding. They're going to have to pick that up.
Keep in mind they did struggle pretty early against Calvert Hall as well, but ended up winning by almost 20. As this one's off of Moore, and the Dons will retain possession.
Yeah, good point there, George. It was 19-9 at one point. Don's able to bring it to 23 apiece at half and pulled away in the third quarter of that one.
They're definitely a team that operates better later in the game, but it's something they have to work on because a lot of times it can end up being too little too late. As Ellison is hustled to the ground, and that's an easy call.
Yeah, Ellison a threat inside, and McDonogh just a little too rough there, trying to stop him from getting to the hoop. Not a shot, not shots though from the line.
This one's high, and it will not be a backcourt violation on Terry Brooks. Brooks to Legree, off balance 3, and he's got it. Jesse Legree opens up his scoring portfolio tonight, and this one's a big one to shift the momentum. Dons cut the lead to 6. It's 15-9, 1:40 to go.
Yeah, Legree averaged just over 14 a game, knocks one down there.
Moore from 3, and McDonogh answers right back. Loyola's going to need to keep the pressure on as Williams drives, and they're going to say this was a block. McDonogh pushing in transition, and they're going to slow it down. It's Ferguson again. And Loyola are allowing a lot of space in the paint. A minute to go. Brooks with the ball. McDonogh leads 20-9. Brooks drives, and Loyola have reached double digits, 20-11.
Great touch off the glass there from Terry Brooks.
One thing to note is that, Loyola have not fouled at all this opening quarter, and McDonogh racked up 3 pretty quickly.
Yeah, Dons need to show a little bit more physicality in the paint there. They're giving up some easy buckets down low that they're going to want to slow down.
Moore is fouled. It'll be the first foul called on the Dons tonight.
Another announcer jinx there from George.
That was a good one, though.
That was a good one.
So 47 seconds to go. It's 20-11 McDonogh. Williams, plenty of space to work with, working on Terry Brooks. Ferguson now gets some space, and every time they give it to him, he's able to knock it down from wherever he is, right outside the paint. As Legree from way downtown, and it falls just short. Ferguson pushing now. Nearly stolen by Brooks.
Ferguson's had a nice start to this game. Only a sophomore, and he stands at 6'6".
Ferguson working on Ellison, creates some space for himself. And this one does not go, as that is the end of the first quarter. McDonogh lead 22-11 on the Loyola Sports Network. back in at the start of this second quarter. McDonogh lead by 11. It's 22-11. And the Dons have a little bit of a hill to climb, although they did suffered this deficit at the end of the first quarter, as you were saying, Patrick, against Calvert Hall, and managed to turn that game around quite handily.
Yeah, very true, George. McDonough's had really good play from their big men, Ferguson and Exenor, off to really hot starts here in the paint. Loyola have to slow that down here in the second quarter.
As Moore tries to fake out Mason Ellison and travels instead.
Yeah, Moore's just a freshman as well, so both teams with a number 0 freshman guard getting playing time on varsity early.
As Terry Brooks works on his man up top. And I'm not sure who they're calling this on, but I think it's actually on McDonogh, as Jefferson Exenor checks back into the game in place of Carlos Ferguson.
I think it might have been on Nick Abrams.
I think so. So Brooks will push. Don's trying to slow it down and see if they can get some quality possessions in, although they only have 10 seconds to go. Brooks finds a tightly marked Ellison, creates some space for himself, drives, and scores on that wide open alley he had created for himself. And that's a nice job there by Ellison.
Yeah, Ellison making his presence felt here, trying to bring the Dons a little closer here in the second quarter.
Up top, it's Hopkins. Working on Ellison. Hopkins trying to find some space for himself, and he's being tightly marked. Gets it into Exenor. Exenor working on Palmer. And a good block there from Carter Palmer. Terry Brooks will push. Ellison for 3, and he's got it. Timeout McDonogh, and it's 22-16 Loyola.
Yeah, right there, defense leading to offense. Carter Palmer, one of the best defenders Loyola has, and big play there.
So tonight's game is dedicated to the One Love program, which was founded in honor of NDP graduate and UVA student athlete Yeardley Love. One Love is a national nonprofit that educates young people about healthy relationships and empowers them to recognize and avoid abuse. This year marks the 15th anniversary of Yeardley's passing, and Loyola Blakefield's One Love Club is proud to host its first dedication game in her honor and in honor of all victims of unhealthy relationships.
Yeah, it's really awesome to see, George. Senior basketball player Eddie Webb took charge of planning this, and it's really good to see it come together. Whiteout theme of the student section, the One Love shirts are present, so it's for an awesome cause.
And absolutely, and a special shout out to Miss Byron, the upper school math teacher who helped get this all together as well. As Hopkins gets it to Exenor, and then it was Nick Abrams. This one goes, it's Maurice Costley. And McDonogh got it back and put 2 more. So it's back to a 10-point game, and Loyola's gonna really need to get some better offensive possessions going here. They have 20 seconds to work with now. It's Legree working on Moore. Legree gets some space for himself. They've got a wide open Brooks in the corner, and this one was just a little too far.
Loyola really struggling with the offensive boards early.
Yeah, and Moore took advantage of that space, but Alifantilla has the rebound.
Great defense there from Alifantilla.
And it's kind of the opposite of what we were thinking. McDonogh's really speeding this game up as Brooks knocks it down and cuts this lead to 7. Terry Brooks with his first 3 of the night.
Brooks, really hype after that big 3.
They're gonna need these small changes in momentum to stay in this game so far, as Hopkins puts down another.
That's just way too easy for McDonogh. They're not gonna miss those layups, so the Dons are really gonna have to power down in the paint.
Loyola's really giving him a lot. As Brooks up top again, they've got Ellison. Now Legree in the opposite corner, and too short. Rebound by Alifantilla. Swings it out to Ellison from deep. And off the right side of the rim, and Exeter will finally get a rebound.
Don's not too hot behind the line, but they're still shooting it. They're a great three-point shooting team. So
More, and honestly, Loyola just kind of let them walk that right down to the rim, and their possessions have been a lot quicker than Loyola's.
yeah, I couldn't agree more. Loyola's a lot of forward depth with Nottingham, Kadiri off the bench, but
You got to get in their faces a little bit, kind of make them think about it a little more. As Ellison drives, and this one does not go. He gets his own rebound. And a nice effort there by Mason Ellison to get the Dons to 21. McDonogh leads by 9. It's 30-21 with about 3:50 to go in the half.
yeah, I agree though, George. Loyola defense has to power down McDonogh. They just look really comfy on the offense all around. So
It's Sonny Moore trying to create some space for himself, pushing past Carter Palmer, and they've got a wide open man up top. It's Nick Abrams, and he airballs this one. And that'll do good for Loyola. As McDonough's going to get their star point guard, Marcus Williams, back into the game in place of Moore. They'll also put in Anthony Redfern in place of Maurice Costley.
yeah, I know that one didn't go for Abrams, but a wide open shot. The Dons still struggling on the defensive end. They're going to have to get hot on the
It
offense.
was Nick Abrams who was taken out. As Legree finds Brooks. Brooks creating some space for himself, and Legree's going to drive downhill and loses the ball. Marcus Williams, fresh off the bench. This one does not go, and neither does the second attempt.
Yeah, Olaf Antilla couldn't get the first board, but fights back, gets the second one.
Yeah, they're going
Don's
to
up
need
ball.
to fight for every inch of space underneath the rim on both ends of the court. As Olaf Antilla tries from 3, and it's a little bit too far for him.
Yeah, Io can shoot it a little bit, but that one doesn't go for him off the pick.
It was just off the opposite rim. He put a little too much on it. But he's a good shooter, really, when they need him. And they're going to call this one on Legree for a reach.
I actually think that one might have been on Olaf Antilla.
I think so, too. Nonetheless, it will go up top, and Maurice Costley will inbound.
But yeah, Olaf Antilla, the transfer junior, originally from the United Kingdom. But he's a good rebounder for the Dons. Averages just about 5 points a game on the offensive end.
But he's definitely one of the more reliable players when they need him to be. A lot of rebounds from him,
Absolutely.
especially early on today. And he can't quite stop this one. It's Redfern, who's creating a big presence down there underneath the rim. As Ellison kicks this one out to Palmer, and some nice play there, and they're really starting to speed up these possessions and make them count.
Yeah, good finish there from Palmer. I mentioned last week, he started off as a guard here, grew a lot over the last 2 years, and he's a great defender, great finisher for the offense at forward position now.
Nice pick there by Jefferson Exenor, and that's what's really giving him space as Redfern from 3 does not go. Looked like it would have been a more of a deep 2, but nonetheless, Exenor is able to finish it off. It's 34-23, McDonogh lead with 1:40 to go.
Exeter's got about 4 offensive boards. I think 3 of them resulted in points, so he's helped them pull away to this lead they have.
They're going to call this foul on Maurice Costley. And it's been kind of generally a more clean game out of both of these teams.
Yeah, McDonogh with 5 total fouls. I think the Dons have 2 or 3, so.
And you'd think it's kind of as fast-paced as it's been, that there would be more.
I agree.
Legree has some space to work with, drives, and could have got an and one there if that went in. As Ellison will retain possession, just under 20 to go on the shot clock, as Olafantila likes his chances, and he's clearly fouled by Exenor. So Olafantila will go to the line.
Yeah, close to the N1 there, but Exenor just got enough of them that it couldn't drop.
And he's going to really need to make these count with 1:13 to go to kind of swing it back in the Dons' favor. And this one will go. So 34-24 is your score. and he sinks two of two. So now it's 34-25 as Marcus Williams is going to be tightly marked by Legree, and that's kind of what they're changing. They're putting a little bit more pressure on him in hopes they could force a mistake. And it kind of worked there. They've gotten him pinned deep. Only 10 seconds to go on the shot clock. And really good defense there by Olafintilla. Again, and they're going to call this one a foul.
Good defense from Olafintilla, but McDonogh got the ball right back, and they'll go to the line for two.
I think that one was on Mikey Williams. So Costly will go to the line. So with 49.7 seconds to go, McDonogh leads 34-25. And they're going to have to take Legree out of the game, I guess, to just check him out.
Yeah, this is an official's timeout. A little bit of blood on Ellison.
Yeah,
they're gonna clean that up, and then McDonogh will head to the line, try to get a double-digit lead here heading into the half.
So Patrick, what do you think the Dons really need to do right now, right before the second half and later on in the game, to kind of get themselves back into the game?
Yeah, the shots aren't falling. Obviously, you want those to fall, but on the defensive end, they gotta power down inside. McDonogh's just getting too many easy buckets at the rim, especially from Exenor and Ferguson on the second chance points. So I think the interior play on defense from the Dons forwards, from Williams, from Olafintilla, is going to be huge here in the second half.
Absolutely
Nottingham as well. So.
Absolutely agree. And also Anthony Redfern for the Eagles. And it's been more some of those bigger bodies and down low for McDonogh. That's really, they've been kind of taking charge of the game here.
Yeah, Redfern only 6'3", but a strong body. Over 200 pounds, so he could fight for boards there down low.
And this one is short, and I'd like to say courtesy of the Loyola Blakefield student section.
They showed up tonight, whiteout theme, like I said, and 7 or 8 rows deep.
Costly again, this one goes, and it's a 10-point game. Brooks working with 26 on the shot clock, 45 on the game clock. Down 10. Brooks, deep two, does not go, it's short, and Exeter will rebound. Williams is gonna push it.
Yeah, good handles there from the freshman, but the shots just are not falling like they were last Friday against the Hall.
As Exeter has some lot of space, and he was being marked by Terry Brooks.
Yeah, Brooks did all he could, but just a size mismatch there, and Exeter delivers.
And they're actually gonna change out Ellison's jersey, and he's no longer gonna be wearing the number 1, he'll be wearing the number 12, which is an unclaimed number. 3 seconds to go. Deep three for Legree, and nowhere close. So we'll go into halftime, 37-25, McDonogh is your score. So Patrick, I know that you're in the Loyola Blakefield.
Yes, sir, George. I'm actually one of the VPs of the club, so along with fellow leaders, Ben Ferroni, Matteo, Borello, RJ Cusson, Miss Byron, and Coach Haas, we help plan meetings, events, and lead small group discussions, so it's a fun time. I enjoy it.
What about it exactly made you interested?
So yeah, my mom's actually an NDP grad, so I was familiar with Yardley's story, and when I heard Loyola was starting a club, I knew I wanted to join. I really enjoy speaking with younger students here at Loyola, so the opportunity to educate the younger guys, the middle schoolers and underclassmen about the relationships definitely piqued my interest for me.
So what would you say a typical meeting is like for the One Love Club here at Loyola?
Yeah, George, so as a club, we meet on Friday mornings. Depending on the week, we either have an educational workshop, small group discussions, and then we plan these dedication games and other fundraising events like our dodgeball tournament, which happens in the spring.
So how long has it been here?
Yeah, so last year, Miss Byron actually founded it. It was the first year. So this is the second year. And last year we had a dedication game in lacrosse. This year we had one for soccer, and then starting up for basketball. So hopefully we'll have another one for lacrosse in the spring. And yeah.
So as an interested Loyola student, how exactly would I join?
Yeah, good question, George. So if you're a current junior at Loyola, there will be an interest meeting later in the year for you with more information on the club and what we do. If you're tuning in as a student from another school and your school doesn't have a One Love club, I 100% recommend trying to start one, talking to a teacher, staff, because it's really a great club for a great cause, and they've had an impact here at Loyola for sure. So thank you, George.
Yeah, thank you, Patrick. Tonight is the One Love night for the Dons as they trail McDonogh 37-25 at the break.
Test, test.
Yep, back in action at Jerry Savage Court. Dons trailing the Eagles 25-37, but they are, I guess you could say, late bloomers in games like these, so we'll have to see if they can swing it back in their favor as Ferguson takes a deep three, no good.
Yeah, the Dons a three-point team on offense, but that was not the way it was in the first half, unfortunately.
Ellison wearing the number 12 now. He got a little blood on his jersey, so they had to change him out. This is actually the second time that's happened in the last couple weeks. It happened again to him against Calvert Hall. As Hopkins really fakes out Olafantila. And Palmer will rebound. Ellison now pushing it. Back the other way, and they're going to call a foul. And I'm not sure if that's going to be an and one or not.
I think it might have been on the floor there.
It looked like it was on the floor to me.
So McDonogh over 2 early from 3, and the Dons are going to need that if they want to get back in this one.
I'm not sure. Was that an early timeout there by McDonogh?
I'm not sure.
Because it seems just like a strange time to call one. But
Yeah, I don't know if they can call one on other teams
well,
after their
I
own
think
foul.
in a dead ball they're allowed to.
Dead ball.
So they will come back to the line. And it's going to be, yes, it's on the floor, so Ellison will inbound.
It's the same 5 that started the game for the Dons.
Just trying to keep that momentum going as it's Ellison. Works inside the paint, loses the ball, and it'll be Ferguson with the rebound and just quickly the other way as Ferguson gets in and out of bounds on McDonogh. And that was, again, great defense there by Io Olafantila.
Yeah, defense on both ends. I think it was Exenor who gets the steal on Ellison, and then Olafantila stops Ferguson from finishing at the rim, knocks it out of bounds.
Legree's been tightly marked by Marcus Williams all night. As Legree likes his chances, it's a deep 2, no good, and Ferguson will rebound.
Yeah,
Back the other way now with Marcus Williams. And Hopkins, absolutely not. And a really nice defensive possession again for the Dons. They just got to make something click on offense now. And that's another miss. It's been like 3 or 4 in a row now for both teams.
Yeah, Legree not having the night he had last Friday, and the shots just aren't falling. He's still shooting, but they're not falling like they were last week.
Yeah, and we've yet to see a point in the opening 2 minutes of this second half. McDonogh leading 37-25 with 6 minutes to go. 8 seconds on the shot clock now. It's Ferguson. Exenor outside. Hopkins, 3 seconds. Hopkins, a deep 3, and he's got it.
It was
it's
good.
40 points now.
It was good defense from Brooks, but that was deep. That was almost at the logo, and he drains it at the buzzer.
And a nice response there by Terry Brooks, doing it all himself.
Second time he's used the glass in the mid-range there, and beautiful touch from the freshman.
And the official's going to call his own timeout. As with 5:30, it's 27-40, McDonogh in the lead.
I believe the shot clock didn't reset there as they get that sorted out.
So they'll give it to McDonogh. It's Maurice Costley to inbound. And McDonogh offense is high up. Loyola's really pressing them, and if they beat the press, they're going to be through.
Yeah, Loyola had 4 guys across the mid-court line there, but
It's kind of risky for them because sometimes it works and it really slows down McDonogh. But if it doesn't work, they're guaranteed 2 points at least.
yeah, Ellison got a foul there, and he was not happy. But
I disagree with that one right there.
yeah, but with the press, I'm getting it. I'm guessing Coach Sersky just wants to get some momentum going. Getting a steal or 2 would certainly do that.
Now Costly to Hopkins. It's Costly, and he has a wide open Marcus Williams underneath. Back to Costly, and a nice block there by Ellison. Coming the other way now with Brooks.
Yeah, Ellison off the glass. Beautiful defense.
Brooks for 3, and too long.
Ferguson with another rebound for the Eagles. The Dons haven't had many on offense at all.
That shooting isn't clicking the way it has been these past games for them. It's kind of surprising to see them with only 27 at this point in the game.
Yeah, when the Gree shot's not falling and they're not getting the offensive rebounds, it's hard to get anything going on the offensive side.
As now it's Ellison, drives, gets his own rebound. Back up, and a clear foul by Exenor. You could argue it was flagrant too.
That was a hard foul. Ellison will get up to shoot 2.
To be fair, I'm sure he didn't mean anything by it. I think it was just the timing was so bad.
No intention there. But Ellison, a 73% shooter from the line.
He's probably their best free throw shooter on the team, but we can't jinx it again, so. Hey, look at that.
Not that time.
28-42 now as Costly's coming out. The freshman, Sonny Moore, will check in for McDonogh. No changes to be made for Loyola, and they've stuck with this starting 5 for the opening half of this 3rd quarter. This one goes 2, and Loyola are clawing this way back into the game any way they can.
Yeah, so he knocks them both down. He's wearing number 12, but just looks like number 1 there.
So 4 minutes to go. It's 29-42. McDonogh in charge of this game so far, and it's up to Loyola to get their momentum back as Marcus Williams finds Sonny Moore. Moore creating a lot of separation and finishes the drive.
Yeah, he was able to get by Legree and with a nice finish.
And Palmer for 3, and he's got it. A nice one there for Carter Palmer. And it looked a little suspicious, but that one found its way.
Yeah, Palmer doesn't shoot too many threes, but that one falls for number 3.
And so a timeout here for a sub. And they're going to bring in Anthony Redfern, and he was an absolute weapon, and he's been just as good as Ferguson today.
Yeah, he'll have Nottingham on him. Nottingham with the height advantage, but I think, yeah, Redfern might have the strength advantage there.
So it's Marcus Williams, the sophomore, up top, being marked by the freshman, Terry Brooks. Williams finds his way outside to a wide open Sonny Moore, and this one's way too far, and Redfern will lose it. Palmer trying to hang on to the ball, and he's able to. Legree stays in bounds all the way across to Brooks. Loyola just staying alive there as Ellison drives in. Got the fake, and they were arguing it should have been a foul. And this one's going to go off McDonogh. So Loyola will retain possession, and they're going to need to capitalize on every single offensive drive they have.
Yeah, Ellison usually good at finishing at the rim. 2 pretty good chances there, and couldn't get any of them either to fall. It's been that kind of night offensively so far for the Dons, but
it's kind of unfortunate, but Legree from the corner, and he's got it, and the foul.
Right in front of the student section. That was a huge 3.
They really needed that one right there, as Legree will shoot to make it 4.
Yeah, with that 3, it brings the lead back to single digits.
It's a 9-point game. McDonogh leading 44-35, 2:43 to go in the third quarter. As Legree makes his first, he's 61% from the free throw line. And it's now an 8-point game, 44-36 McDonogh lead. And it's the freshman Moore.
So 4-point play there. You don't see too many of those.
And this is a foul. They're going to call this on Legree. And it's been a rough night, I guess, for Loyola in terms of fouls. I mean, they've been keeping it clean, but for both teams, really, it's starting to slip if they both already have 3 fouls apiece.
Don student section again, making their presence felt.
I feel like it's unlikely we're going to see a bonus for either side, though. It's just my opinion.
Yeah, it's not looking like it's going to be that type of game.
I mean, we may. I mean, if Loyola do find a way to really crawl back in the game and they're still down a little at the end, they will need to foul at some point. Although you hope that in these next 2 minutes, they can kind of get there beforehand. So Mikey Williams will check in place of Joe Nottingham.
So yeah, with that 4-point play from Legree and the missed free throws, I think looks like the Dons are getting the momentum that Coach Sersky surely wants.
Yeah, and so Nottingham was in for like 30 seconds in place of Alifantila. Williams kicks it out to Ellison. Ellison does not like his chances. Gets it underneath to Williams, and he's fouled.
Exenor beating himself up over that one. I think he was in the position. It was going to be hard for Williams to get to the hoop, but Williams will head to the line for 2.
So we may see a bonus now because McDonough's only 1 foul away, and Williams will go to the line. First shot does not go, and he shoots over 50%. So 36-44. Mikey Williams can cut the lead to 7 with this one. And he will. It's 44-37 with 2 minutes to go in the third period.
Yeah, Williams came into this one shooting 67% from the line. So as a coach, as Coach Sersky, you got to love a big man who can knock down his easy ones.
Sonny Moore will inbound from the side. Hopkins up top. The junior working on the freshman. Now it's Ferguson working on Palmer. Ferguson drives inside, bobbles out to Redfern. It's Moore again. Moore with 3 seconds to shoot, and Palmer's in his face, and they've got the ball. Palmer drives, and he's got it. Really nice series there.
I mean, that was picture-perfect defense from Palmer. And when, yeah, great defense.
That was great. He was all in his face. And they're going to give this one to McDonogh. 39-44. And now it's only a 5-point game.
I mean, that was a perfect defense possession from Palmer. Right as the McDonogh player was about to shoot, he had about a second left.
And I will say, Loyola are definitely best in the third quarter, and they've really outscored McDonogh here.
Yeah, the halftime speeches from Coach Sersky must be good ones because they come out firing, especially on defense. They're really able to shut down their opponents. And yeah, they still got 1:32 left in this one, so hopefully they can keep that going as the quarter wraps up.
Yeah, they've outscored them 14-7 this third quarter, so double their points. And they're going to need to keep this momentum going if they want any chance of winning this game. Yeah, but overall, we've seen that the halftime adjustments that this team can make really benefits them.
Yeah, I mean, you saw versus Calvert Hall, they just really pulled ahead in that one, and this one they were behind and able to crawl back. Just a 2-possession game here.
So 1:32 to go in the third, and both both sides of the ball with 4 fouls. So Loyola's gonna need to be careful here because giving McDonogh the bonus at this point in the game is definitely gonna hurt their chances of getting back.
Looks like Colin Clevenger's checked in for the Dons.
Hopkins with a deep 3 falls short. Rebound with Moore. Moore does not go, no foul. And it's gonna be Don's ball. And again, the Dons are really making the most of these little things that go their way now.
Yeah, the McDonogh coaching staff is not happy about that one, but as Clevenger checks out,
Yeah, Clevenger was in and out there. Palmer comes back in, and I guess they just needed him very temporarily.
the momentum's really starting to switch here as the Dons just look more comfortable all around.
Palmer thought about it, did not go. Legree signals him for a pick. McDonogh not biting that one. There's 10 seconds to go. Legree, deep 2, and it's way short. Redfern able to hang on.
That was really good defense there, and Legree not able to get that one to go.
And Loyola's been playing some good defense, especially Palmer and Alifantila, who we haven't seen much of this second half. As Redfern lays this one in, and McDonogh goes pretty crazy after that one.
Yeah, Redfern's having a really nice game down low. I mean,
as Mason Ellison is blocked, he wanted the foul. It didn't look like it. 20 seconds to go now. Hopkins. Hopkins with a deep 3 earlier. 46-39 your score. 10 seconds to go in the third period. McDonogh leads by 7. And a great fake there by Hopkins as Brooks pushes with 2 seconds, and it's off the rim, no good. So 48-39 is your score. Neither team got to that bonus, but we're headed into the fourth quarter, and we will go to break. Welcome back. It's the start of the fourth quarter here in Jerry Savage Court. McDonogh leading 48-39. It's a 9-point game. The Dons definitely clawed back there, and they're really fighting their way back into this game. We just have to see how long they can continue.
yeah, we've seen this Dons team go on a lot of 3-point hot streaks. They haven't had one yet tonight, so I think Coach Sersky, Coach O'Dwyer would love for one to happen right now because it's a better time than ever. They're down 9.
And both teams going back, well, not McDonogh actually, but Loyola back to the 5. Redfern will be in for McDonogh, and Io Alifantila will be matched up against him, a familiar face who we haven't seen in a while, as it's Ellison from up top. Ellison drives, flips it to Alifantila, and a nice play there.
Ellison able to draw 2 defenders, and that left Olafantilla wide open down low. Perfect pass and the finish.
That was some really good vision there. And it's Sonny Moore working on Ellison. Failed pick. Redfern muscling his way past Alifantila, and a foul.
Yeah, Olafantilla not able to, his hands weren't straight up there, so the ref's gonna call that one most of the time, and it'll be Redfern at the line, hoping to bring this one back to a 9-point game.
And it's Alifantila's second foul, I believe, of the night. And you don't like to see that there's already one foul towards that bonus, only 30 seconds into the closing quarter of this game. First shot does not go for Redfern. And neither does the second. That's pretty big. And they're going to call this one. We thought it was on Loyola, on Ellison or Oliphantila, but it ends up being against McDonogh, and I think it was on Ferguson.
Yeah, Ferguson picks up the foul there. The Dons are going to get the ball anyway after the missed free throw, so.
And it's Ferguson's third foul of the night. He's going to need to watch himself.
McDonough's missed their last 4 free throws. Down the stretch, free throws are huge, and they're going to have to, if they want to win, they're going to have to make those.
Legree out to Brooks. Some really good ball movement we've been seeing here lately. Pick does not work for Oliphantila. Legree signals Oliphantila right. Brooks from deep. Short off the rim. Rebounded by Legree. Legree backing out. And now it's Brooks again up top. Freshman marked by a freshman, and this one does not go. And Costley had some good defense there on Brooks. And Brooks couldn't get it in.
Yeah, the freshman's had a really good game, but not the best shot selection on that one.
And it's 48-41 for those of you who are just joining us. 6:30 to go in the game. Loyola trail by 7. They have an easy way back in if they want it. They can't leave this guy unmarked up top, though. It's Hopkins. And Redford from 3, and it's short. Rebounded by Ellison.
Yeah, neither team having a very good night from deep, so it's been the inside play.
Oh my goodness. Mason Ellison cuts it to 5.
I believe the rim is bent. They had to push it back.
He's done a lot of damage to that rim over the years.
Yes, I mean, that was just great move inside.
And it's those kind of plays that really change it. So now it's been we entered a 9-point game, and it is now a 5-point game. McDonogh have not scored a single point so far.
Yeah, it took 4 quarters to get that first dunk, but when Ellison gets that dunk, the crowd goes crazy.
Exenor gets it, and he is really amped up about that.
It was a good spin move in the finish from Exenor.
Legree, some really good footwork as Ellis's 3 does not go. Exenor with the rebound. A fresh face. McDonogh like to see him back in the game. And the Loyola coaching staff really getting on their players to get back quicker on defense. Deep 2 here for Ferguson does not go. And this one's going to go back the way of the Dons.
Exenor's in some serious foul trouble, I think.
Exenor is at 4 fouls.
He's got to be careful. I mean, he's been their most reliable scorer down low tonight, so they need him in the game.
As Oliphantila likes his chances, does not go. But Exenor, yeah, you're saying he's in trouble. McDonogh already have 2 fouls this quarter. Loyola haven't had one since that early one from Io earlier on. As Marcus Williams makes this a 9-point game once again, and Loyola kind of blanked for a second, and their 5-score deficit increased to 9. And that might be it. Exenor may have just fouled out of the game.
Exenor's not happy. I mean, looked like Ellison kind of got caught on a different McDonogh defender, and then
we're going to have to see who they, yeah.
Exenor takes the blame for that one.
And Jefferson Exenor fouls out of the game. That is a huge blow for the Eagles, and it's a huge step for the Dons getting back. They're going to have to roll with Redfern for the rest of the game if they want to keep the Dons at bay.
Yeah, Redford's had a really good night, but losing Exenor is huge. I mean, he's gotten 6 or 7 offensive boards that have just turned into points, and I'm curious to see how the McDonogh, not only the offense, but how the defense adjusts without him in the game.
Ellison now, second free throw. And he's got both. He's made 4 in a row, I believe.
Yeah,
and a timeout is called.
Good night so far for Ellison from the line. I mean, it's been a good quarter for him. If you're Coach Sersky, you want to see another 3 or 2 fall, because that's how the Dons have made their money in their wins.
Yeah, which is what I was about to ask, Patrick. 5 minutes left, down by 7. They're going to need a big final stretch. They keep getting close, but they can't get over that hump. What's it going to take?
I think it's on the defensive end. They're getting good defense possessions, and McDonogh's just slipping through for easy buckets down low. I mean, we saw it 2 possessions ago. Legree almost had a steal up top. Second later, there's points for McDonogh. So I think Dons are going to have to buckle down on defense, stay disciplined, maybe knock down a 3 or 2 here late.
They've missed a few.
Legree only has 1 tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be on Legree and Ellison. As this one does not go. Ferguson doesn't get it either, and there's a foul.
That one's on Carter Palmer.
And I think it's his second of the night. It's his second of the night. So with just under 5 minutes to go, it'll be Ferguson to the line. First one does not go. That one looked bad the minute he let go.
Yeah, Coach Abrams has got to be cringing on that bench. I mean, it's been, I want to say 5 straight misses for McDonogh. I mean, they're not falling.
They even got the kids in the window just above the hoop. And that one barely made its way in, so it's a 53-45 game. Eight points separate the two. As Ellison gets it in, the foul, his second of the row. And this is what they need to do. You just said it.
Yeah, you said it's going to be on Ellison, and Ellison takes it to the glass with about 10 on the shot clock, goes for the dunk, gets fouled, ball goes in the hoop, and just like that, Ellison can knock it down back to that 5-point lead. That 5-point the 5-point lead they had a few minutes ago.
Yeah, second foul here for Anthony Redfern, and they're already at 4 McDonogh, so with 5 minutes to go, Loyola are close to that bonus. And 5 free throws in a row made now for Ellison, and this is where they have to beat them. They're doing it when McDonogh can't. And now Maurice Costley, the freshman in the game. Redfern. It's Hopkins, familiar face. Ferguson now. Not finding their way in the paint yet. 7 seconds to go. Hopkins is their shooter. Hopkins drives, kicks it out to Williams, and he's blocked! Williams again, does not go. And Palmer will rebound.
Ellison making it happen on both sides of the ball. 3-point play, then the dunk, or then the block, sorry.
Alafantila gets the foul. And it's a 5-point deficit, and Alafantila can make it a 3-point deficit. And Loyola have just achieved a bonus.
Yeah, if you're Coach Searcy, you got to be happy. It's been a solid night so far from the line.
This one goes, and Alafantila, he kind of puts a big arc on those.
He does. But yeah, it's been a really good night from the line for the Dons. I believe they're above 80%. Unfortunately for Coach Abrams, they have the lead, but he can't say the same from his guys from their performance from the line tonight.
Yeah, it's the 3rd foul for Redfern as Costley checks out of the game. Replaced by Sonny Moore. This one does not go, but regardless, it's a 1-possession game for the first time in a while. Deep 3 for Moore, and he's got it.
That's a lot of confidence from the freshman pulling up in the defender's face, but he knocks it down. Beautiful shot.
That looked very good from the moment of release as Legree likes his chances, and he was in the face of Hopkins, did not go. And now if you're McDonogh, you're really slowing this game down because Loyola are hot on your heels.
Yeah, with the way that the shooting's gone tonight, I'm kind of surprised Legree took that shot.
And they're going to call this foul on IOLF and Tilla. And every time Loyola gets close, 4-point game, 5-point game, McDonogh kind of pick it back up a little bit, right?
Yeah, I agree. They're getting 1 or 2 minute momentum swings, but they can't quite drag those periods out to the 4 or 5 minutes that you need to really change a ball game.
Yeah, and Loyola are going to really need to watch themselves as Redfern makes his. And so they could make this a 9-point game again. And if you're Sersky, you've got to be frustrated because every time you're getting there, it's just not going your way, all these little things.
Yeah, he's stuck with the same 5 starters for most of this fourth quarter.
As no foul called on Ellison. Push it back the other way. It's Hopkins. Gets up there. And things really not going Loyola's way now. It's an 11-point game. They're going to need some big shooters now. And it's off on Palmer.
Just like that, you could see how quickly momentum swings as, 1 or 2 fouls turns into 6 points. And just like that, McDonogh, Coach Abrams and the Eagles got to be feeling pretty good.
Yeah, Loyola are going to need to get their way back in the game from the three-point arc now. And it is just bullets raining down on Loyola now, and they've really got to step it up now. It's a 13-point lead, 62-49 with 2:40 to go.
That's exactly what I was talking about, George. They had Marcus Williams, 2 guys on him, almost had the steal, and a second later, it's an easy layup for the Eagles. I mean, it's been the story today for the Dons defense. It's close but no cigar on a lot of the steals, and it's turning into easy buckets the other way.
Well, here's the thing. Ferguson has 4 fouls now, and this one goes. So it's 62-50. And that's the 6th foul for McDonogh, although they're going to stop counting at this point.
Yep.
This one goes too, so it's an 11-point game, and Loyola really need to give it everything they've got as Brooks lays it in. 9-point deficit now.
Brooks loves to use that glass.
Redfern driving. And they can't make it happen. Sonny Moore put a lot of pressure there. And it's Palmer for 3. They need to make this, and it's short.